Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to Pearl's Politics. Yeah, we took a vacation for a week, so I was out sick, and you know how that goes. Had to get myself back on track, but the girl is back, all right. And looked like something going crazy with my camera, but meanwhile, I got my team partner in Heartbeat of the South, none other than Tim Harrington and my every heartbeat. Hey, Tim.
Hey, Mom, how's everybody doing?
All right, all right. What have you been doing since the last time I saw you?
Doctor's appointments, trying to keep the health up and trying to eat a little better. And it seems like it's paying off. Got good reports back from the doctor on it. So I'm happy.
That sounds really good. So, you had to go to one doctor, or you had to go to two?
Well, my main primary care doctor,
Uh huh.
um, which I see her like every 4 months. I had to go to her and get blood work and urinalysis, and everything came back looking good. Uh,
Okay.
yeah, so good
Oh,
deal.
well, that sounds like a winner. Well,
Hmm.
I've just been getting better for the last week and a half or so because
Okay.
what happened with me with the sinuses and
Right.
everything,
Right.
and I got me some new ear pads, as y'all can see these blue
Yeah.
things around. They are made of cloth, so
Okay.
that they can help to keep the moisture when I sweat under these studio lights.
Yeah.
Help keep the moisture from going in my ear, and that was the moisture. Wearing these headphones all the time.
Uh huh.
It's what contributes to me having those repeated ear infections. So this is one of the things that is supposed to help. So I'm trying this out so I can see if that's gonna make a difference.
Okay.
So I think it will. I think it
Yeah.
will.
Hopefully
So
it does.
anything to help because yeah, when I'm under the studio lights and I sweat year round, so it doesn't have to be summertime.
Right.
But now that it is getting warmer, it's gonna be really hot under the studio lights.
Yeah.
And so that's the reason why that moisture builds up. Even though the padding that's on the original padding that's on there
Uh huh.
is it's not real cloth. It's kind of like plastic
Okay.
on this particular set of headphones. But on others, they have the rubber.
Yeah.
What is this like kind of rubbery styrofoam kind of
Styrofoam.
thing,
Mm-hmm.
and those still don't work too well. So I said, let me get on here and search, my favorite store,
Yeah.
Amazon.
Yeah.
So I say, if I let me see if I can find. Sometimes I say, I know somebody that came up with that
Yeah.
idea, right?
Yeah.
Well,
Absolutely. It's nothing that I've looked for on Amazon and didn't
that
find.
you can't find. That's
Yeah.
right. So anyhow, that's what I'm trying to do. But anyway, what we're gonna do? Hello, Sandra. Thanks for tuning in tonight.
Hey, Sandra.
I'm gonna do some of our sponsor commercials because I need to share the Twitter. I forgot to do that.
Okay.
So what we're gonna do now is gonna let a couple of our sponsors talk to the audience. And my computer is slow for some reason, but we're gonna get it in there. Y'all stick and stay. We'll be back. Okay.
Yep.
I got to do some more sharing. All right.
All right.
I'd like to be what I am not. I should know better why not. Life is mine, it's a fact. I'd like to be what I am not. I should know better why not. Life is mine, it's a fact. Wake up in the morning and I picture myself flying in the sky. I'm a bird, it's not a lie. And now that I'm diving through the oceans of my dreams, I want them so bad to become reality. I'm a daydreamer. I'm a daydreamer. I'm a daydreamer. I'm a daydreamer.
Okay, I'm trying to see what had happened to the broadcast. I hit the wrong button. Let me bring back in Tim. Thank goodness we are still live. We should. It says that we are still recording and the clock is still going. My clicker is not working. Okay, can you hear me, Tim? Can you hear me? I can't hear you. Let me see what. Yeah, I gotta check to see if I'm still live too on Facebook. I think we are. Yeah, we are. We're still live. Okay, so and I had check your
Can
video.
you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Yes, yes,
Okay.
I can hear you now.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, both of us having a little tech trouble tonight. It
Yeah,
get
that's
hot
it.
up under these studio lights. My screen was not what I was looking for. It went somewhere where
Okay.
I wasn't trying to go. So let's take another break and let me get this right. We'll be back, y'all. Sorry about the tech trouble. All right, we're making it on back in here. I'm just gonna leave things the way they are because I don't want things to get messed up again. Let me bring Tim in. We're gonna get him started on his that's a playback there. Let's get him started on his topic for tonight, and then I can take a tinker around with the studio while he's going live. He's doing his comment. Hey Tim, take it away.
All right, all right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we have a lady that is accusing Mr. Trump of the R word. The lawsuit
Mm,
was filed in November, claiming that she met
mm,
Trump in a department store, saying that they
mm,
recognized each other from a previous party that they had attended. She is
mm.
saying she was Trump said something to the effect that he was there to purchase some lingerie. Somehow
Uh-huh.
or another, she claims that she tried on some lingerie for him in the lingerie department.
Oh, come on now, really?
Yeah, yeah. So she claims that while she was in the dressing room, that Trump entered it and attacked her. And
Uh,
now she also stated that her trying on the lingerie was very stupid at the time, right?
uh,
Uh
okay.
yeah, yeah, yeah. She claims that the R word was committed. He was holding her against the wall. She said that she couldn't see anything happening. She just felt the
Uh-huh.
pain. Right. So Trump is
She
saying that
couldn't see anything happening.
No, she didn't see anything happening. Only thing that she can recall is the pain that she felt.
Mm.
Yeah.
So how did she know it was him if she
Well,
couldn't see what
because
was happening?
yeah, according to her, they recognized each other in the store and they chit chatted for a minute, and somehow
But
they ended
it could have been somebody else that came behind after he left.
up. Well, hey, I'm just the messenger. But
Okay.
Trump's stance is she's a lie. He don't even know who she is. Now in New York, they passed the law of the Adult Survivor Act, allowing victims to file a civil lawsuit
Oh,
beyond the criminal statute of limitation.
oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, so according to her, this took place in 1995.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so
Okay. So
yeah,
how? So she trying to get in on the new cash thing,
yeah.
the new
According
the new law.
Right. And also, according to her, when it happened to her, she shared it with a girlfriend of hers. And her girlfriend was saying that don't say anything because he was a very powerful man and he had lawyers.
Mm.
According to her, she was scared to report the incident.
Oh yeah, I bet.
Yeah, I know, right? So my biggest question to her is why now? You know, why
Yeah.
now? Why in this very uh, date and time and place are you
In other
doing
words,
that now?
why did she do that in the first election, right?
Absolutely, absolutely,
Uh-huh. Or while he was president, right?
right.
Yeah.
Which seemed to would have been a better time than now because they're slinging mud trying to see what can stick to them. Yeah, so it leaves some doubt there for me, very much so.
Uh-huh.
Just seems like they're coming out of the woodworks to me.
Well, the thing about that is this. I don't know how many I don't know how many times you just actually go after somebody.
Right,
You would think that people would get tired, but that's just the way the devil does. The devil doesn't give up that easily.
right,
And but when you're on the right side and when you're the right one, you always come out on top. You
right,
still come out. You still come out the winner. And for some reason they are just not seeing that.
right.
Um, but all I can say is that man got some what do you call it? Dragon skin. I love
Yeah,
like Game of Thrones.
yeah, yeah,
He's
yeah.
a throner. He's a throner because he got some dragon blood in him. He could take them hits and take those licks.
Right,
I
right.
know that I wouldn't be able to take it like that.
I know, right?
No, no, we're
But,
not strong enough for that. But then he got to have some dragon blood in him from way back when.
yeah, he's battle tested to me. So, um, I mean, this doesn't surprise me. It's really a shame um,
Mm-hmm.
that the witch hunt that they're on. Um,
Mm-hmm.
they know it's a witch hunt. We know it's a witch hunt. So why don't you just quit while you while you can?
Well, it makes it look suspicious. You
Very
know,
much so.
when you just keep going after the same person, that sets up suspicion within itself.
Right.
You know, uh, I mean, people don't even have to call it by any name.
Mm-hmm.
Just the act of constantly going after one person
Right.
makes that suspicious to
Mm-hmm.
anybody in their right mind.
Right. Right.
And then what that does is what happens is the perpetrator does not get the effect or that they're looking for.
Mm-hmm.
What it does is turn everybody and makes everybody go for the underdog.
Right.
You know,
Right.
it's instead of the dog catcher. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right.
So I mean, and then that has been proven down through history. You see what I'm saying?
I agree.
Particularly in politics.
Mm-hmm.
But even in wars, um, and those type of things. But yeah, all it does is make people want to be on the side of the one that's being gone after
Right.
all the time.
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
And they don't really have to like you or know you,
Right.
but it's just they're observing of how somebody's always picking on you. It's
Yeah.
kind of like the school ground, right?
Right. Right.
Yeah,
Screw, yeah, screw ground bullies. Yeah.
yeah, it's kind of like the school ground. They don't want to play nice, but somebody gonna stand up and say, "Wait a minute now, I'm gonna be on this side. You need to pick on somebody your own size, right?"
Right. Right.
So it makes everybody be in favor of the underdog. So
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, in my eyesight, it would be different um, had he not been our 45th president and did an excellent job while he was in there. I could see if he wasn't hadn't been president that it might would put some doubt up. You know what I mean? Uh, it doesn't work because we know what he's capable of, and that's what we want. And at the end of the day, you got to give the people what they want.
yeah, that's what I'm saying about the underdog. Even for the people that might not even want him
Mm-hmm.
for a president, for their president, they might feel sympathy
Right.
for the man in a humane sense.
Oh, absolutely.
And say, well, I'm gonna go ahead and vote for him because that man has taken a beating. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
Even though they don't want him, particularly independents. And I don't know why we don't have three parties. I think if we had three parties in the United States that could take office, you know what I'm saying? That
Right.
now it's ironic. You could that we don't have a strong independent party. In other words, we do have the independents
Mm-hmm.
because we have independent senators and we have independent congressmen.
Right.
We don't have an independent president. It's hard for an independent president to
It
win.
is.
If you want to know something, Donald started out independent. He wasn't on either party.
Right.
But what happened was after he was doing so well running as an independent, the Republicans decided
Picked
that
him
they
up.
wanted to grab him
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
pick him up because
Right.
he had enough money to finance his own campaign
Oh,
as
absolutely. Absolutely.
but when it comes to making three parties, that official at that high level in the United States, to tell you the truth, both parties didn't want that
No, they didn't. No.
because that's
Yeah.
gonna take away votes from both sides. You
Yeah.
see,
Yeah. Yeah. That they definitely don't want. Absolutely not.
yeah. So the Republicans made a smart move in grabbing him
They
first.
did.
They beat
They
the
did.
Democrats and by grabbing him first.
Right. And when it's all said and done, it boils down to the numbers. And he has even now he has the numbers.
That's the numbers.
Yeah, because look at this turmoil that we're in. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, man.
Gas is
It's
up, food is outrageous, eggs cost $12,000 a carton. You
three
know what I
thousand
mean?
dollars.
Yeah.
Where's the audience? We gotta have a laugh on that. You know what? This doggone studio turned the background turned white on me
Yeah.
when and I like it on the black. But we got the laugh in there. I see it. But it's hard for me to find the audience buttons and stuff on this white background.
Right, right.
I'll set it back right when we finish the show tonight. But
Okay.
it's so funny though because you know um it is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Sandra say hi, Tim.
Hey Sandra, how you doing?
Yeah, and I gotta share now to don't forget go go ahead and share to your people so that
Okay.
your fans can get in there too. And because I didn't get a chance to share, I turned on Twitter and but I didn't share it to Messenger at all. And I'm trying to remember people, trying to get people in.
Yeah, yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, but we're not gonna hold people too long anyway, so
Right.
they won't. We like to get in, get out.
Mm-hmm.
But anyhow, yeah, so he got the numbers for the Republicans on this side, but what's happening is turmoil, infighting. It's infighting going on in the Republican Party,
Yeah.
just like there's some infighting going on in the Democratic Party.
Right.
So we got both of these parties with infights going on.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it seems like a long way away because it's a year and a half until November 2024.
Right.
But it's time for both parties to stop their infighting now within their own parties now, so that they could have a whole year to solidify,
Right.
to be represent themselves as a solid party.
Right.
Because as long as you got infighting going on in your party, you do not have a strong party,
You
whether
know.
it be Republican or whether it be Democrat, right?
Mm-hmm.
So right now, so much infighting going on. You got the DeSantis, all of the candidates, everybody
Yeah.
that want to run is coming out now on the
Right.
Republican side.
Yeah, I
On
saw
the, on
that.
the on the Democratic side, you got the current president, President Biden, announcing that he's going to run again,
Yeah. Yeah.
but he got some people in his own party that don't really want that, right?
Right. Absolutely.
So you
Yeah.
know that's infighting. That's not
Yeah.
solidified, right?
Right.
So then in the Republican Party, you got a lot of Pence, who was former
Vice
President
President.
Trump, vice
Hmm.
president, is going to run against Donald,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Well, Donald don't like that.
Oh,
As a
absolutely.
matter of fact, there was an article that was out today that said there was some type of lawsuit that's going on, and let me see what it was. It was about um, something in the court. Let me see if I can find it. Wait a minute, I'm gonna find it right quick. I
Yeah.
don't want.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. And here's the thing about that with Pence. We saw we saw you at vice president, dude. You tuck your tail every time it was time to stand up. So we know what you're made of. You know what I mean? Uh, I don't think that's gonna work, dude. We saw how you tucked tail, ducked and ran. We
okay,
remember. We haven't forgot. We the people have not forgot.
all
Uh,
right. This is from there. I found it. This is from
okay.
Forbes. This is from Forbes.
Okay.
Forbes News. It was breaking business. I think this came out today. No, this was on April the 10th. Oh, that's kind of old then. But anyway, it says that former President Trump has asked an appeals court to overturn a judge's order for former Vice President Mike Pence to appear before a federal grand jury investigating the January 6th attack on the Capitol, according to multiple reports.
Hmm.
Even though earlier attempts to keep aides from testifying have repeatedly failed. Um, And Pence indicated last week that he would not appeal the DC based District Judge James Boasberg ruling requiring him to answer questions about private conversations
Hmm.
he had with Trump leading up to January 6th, but not questions about the date of the riot itself.
Right.
Trump attorneys have claimed executive privilege should shield testimony from Pence and others in essentially all investigations concerning the ex president, and assertion courts have consistently rejected.
Right.
So
Yeah.
they asked for comment. So And what we don't know is not clear whether Pence might appear or not. All right. So
Yeah, yeah. Partially I would have to agree with that. And what I mean by that is, I think that's a what shall I call it? National security. It should fall up under that, and he should be shielded as president.
well, it's a conflict of interest
Absolutely.
because you're my vice president.
Right.
And that should not be required testimony
Yeah.
where that would allow you to testify against me when you were
Right.
serving under me, unless there was some type of violation that was done for as religion, the Title Five, Title One,
Yeah.
religion, sex, uh, uh, what is it, color, creed,
Agree. Mm.
uh, speech. I think I don't know who I'm
Yeah.
at.
So it's sort of just like being married. One can't testify on the other. You
Yeah,
know what I
like
mean?
that, right? It's a marriage, right? You
Yeah, it's
said it.
marriage.
You said it right on the dot, Tim. Let me
Yeah.
say it. Yeah, here, cheer on that one. That's right.
It's definitely a
It's
marriage.
that's marriage. A vice president and a president. That's a marriage.
Right, because he's privy to all matters. That
Yeah, and it's like why that's why they have that rule
yeah,
regarding testimony that the wife can't testify against the husband if they don't want to,
right.
and the husband can't testify against the wife if they don't want
Hmm.
to.
Right.
And so the presidency and vice presidency is like a marriage in all aspects of
Hmm.
it.
Hmm.
So they should not have to testify against each other if they don't want to.
Right. I agree.
So, so hello, Mary. Welcome to the show.
Hey, Mary.
All right. So listen now, we're going to take a look at the other side and see what's going on. There's some top news
Okay.
about the vice. Since we're talking about vice presidents, let's stay in that category.
Okay.
If I haven't lost the article, I did have it on here and brought up earlier, but I might have lost it.
Oh, hope not.
No, I still got it. All right.
Okay. Cool.
All right. So then, let's y'all stick to stay and go away. We'll be back.
All right.
A VPN is great for security and privacy. By hiding your IP address and encrypting your traffic, it shields your data from snoopers and all kinds of cyber attacks. But its protection scope is limited. So, NordVPN is becoming more than just a VPN. We're introducing a brand new feature to the desktop apps, Threat Protection, and it's going to take your digital security to the next level. Once you enable it on your NordVPN app, Threat Protection will guard your device against malicious websites, malware, trackers, and intrusive ads, even if you're not connected to a VPN server at the time. That's right, when you switch it on, it'll stay on, regardless of your VPN connection. Let's take a look at how it can improve your cybersecurity. Online, one wrong turn can spell disaster for your private data, but not with Threat Protection. It blocks dangerous websites that might potentially host malware, even if you click on a dangerous link by accident. Next up, Malware Protection. If you accidentally download an infected file, it's not the end of your devices just yet. Threat Protection scans every file you download. If a file turns out to be infected, it gets deleted immediately before it can wreak havoc on your computer. Most websites you enter are stuffed with trackers that follow you from one page to another, creating a unique profile of who you are and what you like. Threat Protection blocks trackers, so you can surf the net with more privacy. Ever opened a web page only to be bombarded with intrusive ads and loud autoplay videos? Well, they're not only annoying, some of them can actually be a cyber threat. Threat Protection blocks the intrusive and malicious ads on the spot. So, how do you take your device security to the next level? Make sure you have the latest NordVPN app version on your computer. Then open it and click on the little shield. It's the threat protection icon. Toggle the switch on and enjoy ultimate security. You can also find Threat Protection Lite on your mobile apps, but it won't block trackers or malicious files on your phone just yet. Step up your cybersecurity and stay safe.
Okay, I'm here. All right, y'all. Let me bring back in the heartbeat of the South. All right, Tim.
All right, all right.
All right, so talking about vice presidents on the other side, the Democrat side.
Okay.
The talk is that um, Vice President Harris is still facing her tests of political skills
Mm-hmm.
in the 2024 campaign.
Okay.
They said this is from the Associated Press, and they said that she has been um, Well, it says vice presidential candidates, if they're going to make a difference, they're going to make it at the margin, said Joe Goldstein, a historian of the vice presidency.
Mm-hmm.
He said, but if you look at our recent history, a lot of our presidential elections, wait a minute now, don't stop. Okay, read more. A lot of our presidential elections have been decided at the margins.
Yes.
Harris's appearance at her alma mater, and I don't know what date this was, but it said it came. Oh, Tuesday. Yeah, this is recent. Tuesday night. That was night before last.
Right.
Her appearance at her alma mater, Howard University, on Tuesday night, the same day that Biden announced his re-election bid, was the first look of how she'll approach the campaign. Her
Okay.
focus on abortion echoed her message during the midterm elections, but was even more barbed than usual as she targeted extremists she accused of taking away people's rights.
Okay.
Don't get in our way, because if you do, we're going to stand up, we're going to organize, and we're going to speak up, and we're going to say we're not having that. We're not playing that, Harris said. That was a quote.
Okay.
Joel Goldstein goes on to say, addressing herself to so called leaders who want to restrict abortion, Harris told them to open your medicine cabinet in the privacy of your bathroom, in the privacy of your home. I wonder what's sitting up in there. The crowd roared with laughter. You don't want me getting in your business, do you? See, she said. It goes on to say Harris linked efforts to restrict abortion to Republican attempts to tighten rules of voting and limit what can be taught in schools.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, they got those three issues
Okay.
on both sides. They got the abortion issue on both Republican and Democratic side.
Okay.
They got the voting issues, voting rights issues on both parties. Both parties have the same three issues. And education, what can be taught in schools, and then for me personally, to add a fourth would be economy.
Okay.
So Tim,
Yes.
what is your view? Let's talk about the abortion, Republican versus Democrat,
Okay.
and why. Which one do you think is right? If you can say, or if you want to say,
Okay.
but also, why would you say that it's right in your view?
Well, I'm pro-life, um, but I also feel that a woman has their right to make that decision.
Hmm.
We as men, we have no idea what it is to carry a pregnancy and go through the terms and uh,
Giving birth.
postpartum and giving birth, and everything that comes along with that. So,
Mm-hmm.
in my opinion, I've always been, like I say, I'm pro life. However, I would leave it up to the woman's discretion.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. So that's my stance on that right there.
So that is more of the Democrats' position, right? That's
Yeah.
what the Democrats are saying.
Right.
Okay. All right. Now, I tend to agree with you because I really don't think government should be in a woman's pants.
Right.
I
I agree.
mean, there's no other way
Yeah.
to say it. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Oh yeah, I get it. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You got the only way, only time I need you in my, you know, and down there with things to do down there
Yeah. Yeah.
is when things need to be fixed down there.
Right.
I
Right.
don't need you messing, you know, give me my health care.
Mm-hmm.
If you give my health care providers will take care of fixing the things that's wrong.
Right.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So that's basically all I want you to do with me concerned down there.
Right.
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 I just don't want you in my business down there.
Yeah.
And when you put it in a common sense manner of speaking, which is the way I'm speaking
Mm-hmm.
now, it just makes common sense. That is
Right.
no place for the government.
No,
There's
it's
no
not.
place for city governments, county government, state government, or federal government.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Right.
that's the reason why it was passed 53 years ago
Yeah.
that the
Roe
government
versus
didn't have
Wade.
a right because
Mm-hmm.
the government don't have no business down there.
Right.
And they should not have any business down there.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, and I am pro life. You know,
Right. Okay.
but I still think I agree with you on that. I still think that the government has its nose where it really shouldn't be
Right.
because it can get pretty stinky down there.
Oh
Okay.
yeah, absolutely. We we saw I mean we saw the fallout you know when it was Roe versus Wade was overturned. You know,
Exactly.
yeah.
Exactly.
So yeah, but definitely, yeah. Like I say, I'm pro life, but I believe that it's up to that woman.
Hello, Ernestine.
Hey, Ernestine.
All right. So the other thing is the voting rights.
Okay.
And, you know, the Republicans got their way just before 2020 election, where they did these uh, community lines. They did this, I forget the word for it now, but they changed the lines of the territory, whereas it limited people's access to voting locations,
Okay.
and it also limited the number of voting locations based on the size of a certain territory. So they got
Hmm.
their way on that in 2020.
Right.
And so the Democrats are saying they never should have done that. And the Republicans did that, and it worked out in their favor. Now, that's why I have a problem with the Republicans when some of them rather, claim that the election was stolen this last time.
Right.
Because I'm like this, how can you point the finger that the election was stolen this last time when just before the 2020 election, you changed all the territory lines?
Yeah, they
You
did.
see what I'm saying?
Yeah, they did.
Didn't nobody say that you know they did disagree about it,
Yeah.
you know, and then you know nobody, you know, they the opponents, they did have opponents on it, right?
Yeah.
But because they had a majority Republican Senate at that time,
Hmm.
they were able to do this.
Right.
So basically, you stole people's votes when you changed those
Yeah.
lines, territory lines,
Right.
right, to favor your party.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
now you cannot go back and say that it was cheating because
Right.
you the one changed the lines.
Yeah. 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 It's fine when it works. It's fine when it works for them, but when it works for you, that's a problem.
Yeah, yeah, they changed the lines,
Yeah.
you know, but you so you shouldn't have never messed with the lines. That's what it seemed like, the
Oh, yeah.
territory,
Right.
you know, for
Right.
you to have a legitimate complaint.
Hmm.
But you
Hmm.
don't have a legitimate complaint because you changed the territory lines.
Yeah.
So it was supposedly to favor you, right?
Yeah.
And it did.
It did.
you know.
Right.
So, but now that you lost, all the territory lines are wrong, right?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. You can't be, you can't have your cake and your ice cream too. And
Yeah,
that and
yeah.
yeah.
So now they want to change it again, right?
Right. Yeah. Um I mean, like you say, they want it. They're with the program long as it's beneficial to them. But when it's not
Hmm.
beneficial to them,
Hmm.
it's a problem.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, we've been having trouble with voting, whether it be in your town, the locations of voting, uh,
Machines not working, broke
breakdowns
down.
in the machines. You name it, it's happened.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
has.
so yeah,
All right. So the other thing is education.
okay,
So they want to go and the Republicans want to take books out. They don't want CRT, critical race theory. That's what the CRT stands for. They
okay,
don't want any critical race theory taught in, um, particularly elementary schools.
okay,
But I think they want to extend it to all of primary and secondary schools. They saying that the Republicans say they should be taught in college. If they're
okay,
going to teach it anywhere, they really rather not have it in college, even. Because their argument is that you're taking all of our history away. Okay, so Democrats want to put it in there because they say this is a big chunk of the history that was never put there, that's missing, that needs to go in if you're talking about public education.
right.
So how do you feel on that?
Well, my thing is this: none of the true story is told in schools. However, we don't find that out until after 12 years of programming. Uh,
Right.
you know what I mean?
You're absolutely right, Tim. That's
Right.
right.
Yeah,
Because
and
why? It's his story. If you break
that's right.
history down, when you spell history,
Right.
HISTORY, what are those two words? His story,
Right.
not my story,
Yeah.
not their story, you know, not her story.
Yeah,
It's his story.
it's funny that you brought this topic up. I saw something that I just could not believe that my eyes saw. We have a bigger problem going on to where they're willing to let children make their own identification for as male, female, and
That's
pronoun.
what the Democrats want.
Right,
And the Republicans don't want that part. So that's a
right.
different, that's like a phase two of this education
Yeah.
problem.
Oh, yeah. It's a lot with that.
So
I
you're with the Democrats on that one.
yeah,
I am too.
yeah,
Because
absolutely.
I mean, hey, uh he, her was the first two, you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah,
Words to identify, because the Bible addresses Adam as he,
yes,
it addresses Eve as she.
yes.
Now, what I have a problem with is, okay, the Republicans said that that's all it should be.
Mm-hmm.
Now, so I'm on the Republican side with that
Okay.
because, I, you, me, she, he, whatever.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And if you in between, you can claim whichever one around me. It doesn't matter. That's just my personal opinion.
Right.
you know, but I leave that up to you.
Right.
But don't force me to be calling you it.
Right. Yes. That's where I have the problem at. You're not going to convince me to be of your delusional of what you want to call you.
It, whatever.
Right. It,
I
he,
don't even know
she,
what the
we.
terminology. They got a whole terminology list of
Yeah.
what people should be called.
Yeah.
Because and all of this, that LGBTQ and LGBTQ, I don't have a problem with it. You know why? Because two of my best friends were what we used to call gay
Mm-hmm.
from since I was 8 years old.
Right.
From when I moved into our new neighborhood when I was 8 years old, and I became friends with these two guys. And we lasted our friendship all the way past high school. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
And there were never any problems, everybody in the neighborhood just knew that's just the way they were.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
didn't get bullied.
Yeah.
They didn't get jumped on or beat up, none of that stuff.
Hmm.
And it could be the same way today. But but society has evolved so much into an anger mentality
Yeah.
and a defensive mentality that everybody just can't get along.
Yeah. Yeah. And the thing about it is, like you said with the LGBTQ, I think it's a Y in there. Um, we accepted it. You know what I mean? People
That's
didn't
just the
have
way they
anything.
were.
Right, exactly. But here's the thing: you're going too far. This is
So I'm just saying, it's so true.
Yeah, this is too much. This he,
Hmm.
she, we, all that. Hey, wait, man, wait. You know what I mean?
It, law,
Yeah,
jaw, whatever. I
yeah,
don't
you're
know.
doing too much. Um, and you want it to be okay for a man that identifies as a woman to walk in the ladies' restroom.
No, no, no. I don't go along with that. I don't like that unisex bathroom thing.
Well, it's definitely a thing.
I
That's
know they got them. They exist. They already exist. They've been existing that for at least 4 or 5 years. That's not nothing new.
where's
They put the unisex bathrooms out there first in some
I,
places, not everywhere. You
right,
know.
but we weren't dealing with this though, as far as the he, she, we.
No, we wasn't dealing with that. But I didn't like the idea of them even putting a unisex bathroom out there, unless it's like like in the old days when it wasn't but one toilet
Yeah,
and
yeah,
everybody had to use it. But nowadays,
one
in
at a
modern
time.
times, we got enough space in these industries to have a children's restroom,
Right.
to have a ladies' restroom, and
Hmm.
to have a men's restroom.
Right.
You know, so we're not in 1950, 1960, where
Yeah.
it was just
Yeah.
one restroom and everybody had to use the same one. So
Right.
why you want to take us back to something that we have progressed from? We have progressed some for what 50 years to having separate bathrooms, but you want to take us all back 50 years to one.
Yeah.
That's dumb.
Yeah, the other part of that is that the House passed on the for as men that identify as she not to participate in those sports activities because they were saying that it's unfair. Here it is,
Yeah,
you have
I
an
agree with that.
here it is, you have an athlete that trains year round, all of a year.
That costs a lot of money and
It
time for
costs a
their
lot of money,
parents.
time, dedication,
Their
etc.,
parents,
etc.
grandparents, and relatives, right? And
Right.
then
Only to have a guy come in or it identifies as she. So it passed in the House
and win and take the trophy.
right, exactly. So that
Hmm.
did pass in the House, but they're stating that it's going to
Yeah,
be
I
shot
saw
down.
that. I was
Yeah.
glad about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that wasn't fair at all.
Not at all.
And so now, lately, religion has been under attack.
Uh oh. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's and in cities all across the countries now, churches are being burglarized.
Mm-hmm.
They've been set on fire, burned down. And they're classified. They don't classify the burglaries as hate crimes, but when they burn them down, they call it hate crimes. But it's just so many church burglaries that's happening now. And then religion is being attacked, whereas uh, well, we know why the Catholic religion was attacked, because
Yeah.
that's the priest's fault from
Yeah.
years and years and years of them doing wrong.
I
Okay,
agree.
I don't have a problem with that because they never should have been doing it wrong,
Right.
and I'm sorry that it really took this long for them to disclose that and make it public and make them shame,
Right.
because they need to wallow in their shame.
Yeah.
Uh, so I know why the Catholic religion is being attacked, but other um, avenues of religion has also been under attack.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah.
So it's like they hop from one thing to
Yeah.
another.
Yeah. It's whatever's hot at the time. What's trending?
Trending is the word. You got that
Yeah,
right.
yeah, but you know what? It's funny that you brought that up because for the past week and a half, I've been on Instagram, and it's been a whole lot of evangelists and uh, prayer. What do you call it? Prayer.
So, press service.
Yes, a lot of prayer service that's
Mm-hmm.
being showed around the country,
Mm-hmm.
and I was shocked because it was flooded. You know what I mean? And I was like, wow, versus me going to an Instagram and seeing some half naked woman. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And
Well,
I was like, wow, what a breath of fresh air.
well, yeah, and then so uh, I think it's the Democrats that want to take TikTok, shut it down, right?
Yeah,
Or is it the Republicans? I don't
I
know which
be,
one.
yeah.
I think it's Republicans, but it doesn't matter. But I know they want to shut it down. somebody, look,
Somebody
somebody
want to
want to
shut it
shut it
down.
down,
Yeah,
right?
right.
And I so that could be the reason why that they are showing all of their religious videos all of a sudden.
It could be. I mean, honestly, I just think, and it's just my personal opinion, is good versus evil now. That's
But it
where
is
that's
good.
yeah,
But
that's
it's
what
also a strategy.
yes,
You
absolutely.
see what I'm saying? It's,
Absolutely.
so I mean, these businesses know how to strategize to keep from losing their prize, right?
Yeah.
And and that's
Go ahead.
owned and run by China. Keep that in mind.
Yeah, I just saw a documentary the other night on a particular high fashion clothing line that had child I want to say child graphic uh adult outfits uh on teddy bears, etc., etc., etc. And they received a big drop because of that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, because you had to look closely at it, and people, that's exactly what they did. And when they found out what they were standing for and how their history was, I
Mm-hmm.
mean, it's just ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
It's ridiculous, and it's unacceptable on one
Mm-hmm.
hand, and then the evildoers are accepting it.
Mm-hmm.
So to me,
And pushing it.
yeah, they're pushing that agenda along with the
Mm-hmm.
other agendas. You know,
Mm-hmm.
not only they're pushing it, we're seeing it. Back in the day, they used to try to hide it or cover it up. Oh, it's right in
Mm-hmm.
your face now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, let's take a little break. When we come back, let's see if we can figure out what Russia and China is doing,
Let's do
and
it.
and I want to hear your prediction about is war coming.
All
All right.
right.
Oh yeah, we'll be back, y'all. Stick and stay. Don't go.
Hmm. Hmm. What am I gonna get? Ooh, cherries. Oh, okay. How about cherry ice cream? With sprinkles? And maybe a baguette. And a French boy. Bonjour. Ooh la la, baby. You know what I need? Bath bombs. Bombs away! Gotta have Takis. Oh, I need balls. Okay, I'm gonna need some glue. Oh, and a new charger. I can never find those things. And I gotta get flowers for mommy. And a little something for me. Can I get a robe?
Welcome to the Shack 12 Week Shred. My name is Rock Shabazz, and I'm here to take you through the same program that I made for this guy right here.
This program is without a doubt a huge reason why I was able to get fit and stay fit. If you put in the work and stay consistent, you just might be able to keep up. It's time for you to get to work.
So, are you going to Amy's wedding?
I don't have the money. Yeah, you do. Who are you? I'm you, from the future. And I just got paid.
And I'm Dave. I can get you up to $500 of your future money now.
Up to $500 instantly?
Instantly.
That's amazing. Oh, who's he? Oh, this is Paolo. We met at the reception. Hi. Hola. Hello. Paolo. That's me.
Download Dave and get up to $500 instantly.
All right, thanks for sticking and staying. I'm bringing Tim back in. And we're going to talk about Sudan
Okay.
and what happened. They got gunfire, they got war going on over there. This is from the Washington Associated Press. U.S. Special Operation Forces carried out precarious evacuation of the U.S. Embassy in Sudan on Sunday.
Okay.
Sweeping in and out of the capital with helicopters on the ground for less than an hour. No shots were fired and no major casualties were reported. With the final embassy employee out of Khartoum, the United States shuttered its diplomatic mission indefinitely. Remaining behind the East African nation are thousands of private American citizens. Remaining behind again.
Yeah.
Thousands of American citizens, private citizens. U.S. officials said it would be too dangerous to carry out a border evacuation operation.
Oh my.
A broader evaluation operation.
Wow.
They always rescue the embassy, but then
Yeah.
leave all the other people.
Yeah.
Battles between the two rival Sudan's commanders had forced the closing of the main international airport and left the roads out of the country in control of armed fighters. The skirmishes has killed more than 400 people. So, in a statement thanking the troops, President Joe Biden said he was receiving regular reports from his team on efforts to assist remaining Americans in Sudan to the extent possible. He also called for the end to unconscionable violence there. Wow. So here we go again.
Yeah. Yeah.
Rescued the Afghanistan embassy. Got some of the people out.
Yeah.
Some of the Americans and some of the uh, uh, translators.
Yeah.
Afghani translators out, but not all of them, and not all of the Americans that were still in Pakistan. Not
Right.
only did you leave people there, you left over 300 and 300 million something dollars worth of valuable war equipment, armor,
Mhm.
bullets,
Yeah.
everything for weapons of war.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. I mean, we've seen this song and dance before. My advice to people: look, if you're not on the high priority list, meaning when things are all hell breaks loose,
Better
and
get out of there.
and you're not on the list to
Mm-hmm.
be rescued, stop taking those jobs. Please stop taking
Stop
those jobs.
taking a job because ain't
Because
nobody
if you're
coming to
not
save
top
you.
priority, this is what happens. I don't understand why people think that things are going to be all hunky dory. We've seen this song and dance over and over and over.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But Whose watch did both of these events happen on?
Oh yeah, definitely his.
Now, see, when things like this happen under your watch, you can't really ask for people to vote for you
No,
because you
no,
ain't taking care of your own.
yeah, half the time the man don't know. He's half the time he's here, and half the time he's not. Um, but my concern is to the people. Please stop taking those jobs. Find you
Mm,
something over here on U.S. soil. It
mhm,
surely is something that you can do. Because if you're
mhm,
not top priority, you will be left behind.
mhm,
Make no
mhm.
mistake about it. And
Every
history
time,
has taught us that. So I
every
don't I,
time.
I don't get their comprehension of what they're comprehending and what they're not.
Money.
Yeah. But guess what?
But greed is one of the seven
Seven
deadly
deadly sins.
sins. And now they
Absolutely.
see
Yeah.
that they sinned without knowing by being greedy and
Yeah.
go far for the money.
Mm-hmm.
Money is
Mm-hmm.
not everything. And in
No.
these type of cases, nobody could say it, prove it to them better now because
Yeah.
now they left fighting for their life, or
Yeah.
that some may be already dead.
Oh yeah, definitely.
You know,
I'm sure it's
it's
that's just
unfortunate.
and that's what they sum it up as is casualties of war. That's the terminology that they use.
Yeah, and then you're gonna have to go through so much paperwork, and it might take you 2 or 3 years for the government to even pay you benefits for your
Yeah,
lost loved one.
right, right.
So it's not like it's gonna get no instant money because you lost your loved one over there.
Mhm. That's a
So
process.
the relatives need to talk these people down from going over to these faraway
They
places
do.
too.
They do.
Oh, let's see. I gotta refresh my because we're still alive, but I was seeing
Yeah,
something else. Okay,
you,
there we are.
yeah, you were asking me, do I think we're going to go to war?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So Russia and China, buddy buddies now.
Yes,
Now you got Sudan going on with this war.
yes,
Sudan is Africa.
yes,
Okay.
yes.
It's like when you tell people that Egypt is in Africa, they don't want to believe it, but that's what Egypt is.
It is.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So you got all of these Eastern countries now with some kind of war going on.
Right.
Um, yeah, we have a United Nations, but Britain is already saying they're not going to get in the business of the Chinese and the United States.
I don't blame them. I don't
I
blame them one bit.
mean, I'm laughing, but they're not funny because
Yeah.
they're supposed to be our
Well,
ally.
yeah. But here's the thing. It's always been a saying American is always sticking their nose in where it doesn't belong. And
Uh-huh.
are we going to go to war? We're actually already at war, and I'm talking about cyber war. We have to remember that they have made a deal behind closed doors not
Mhm.
to be associated with our U.S. dollar. Once that U.S. dollar loses its value, that is a defeat. You know what
Mhm.
I mean?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
What more could be more painful than that?
Your electric grid,
Yeah, but
your,
it's like taking
communication grid, your communication grid.
right. Yeah,
And talking about that, do you know that China and Russia has more satellites up in space than we do?
oh yeah. They just don't announce everything they do like we do.
No, and they shoot ours down. They got
Yeah,
a war going on up there. Why they
yeah,
create. That's why President Trump created Space Force because he knew what was going on up there.
yeah.
Russia and China shoot down our satellites out there in space.
They're not
And
telling you
space
about that.
doesn't look like the pretty pictures that we see on
No,
NASA. They
no.
got they got junk of spaceships, junk from satellites all broke up,
Yeah,
flying all across everywhere. It's a mess
yeah.
that a spaceship can hardly get through a clear path up
Right,
there.
right. Yeah,
So it ain't all pretty up there, and that's the
yeah.
reason why President Trump created Space Force, and he was getting ready to release those UFO files.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, okay. Good night, dear. He was getting ready. She said, "Good night."
Good night, Ernestine.
He was getting ready to release those UFO files and declassify them.
Oh, okay.
They have been declassified, and some of them have been released.
Right.
So now, since they are declassified, uh, I just heard a report last week saying that in the past month, I think it's 30 days, over 600 and something unidentified objects has been spotted.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now,
Yeah. Yeah.
before they got declassified, we would have never heard about that, or we might have heard about one or two, right?
Well, yeah. The thing about it is, we have the technology of the internet now, and
So they
they're
can't
being,
keep it no more.
huh?
They can't hide it no more too
No, they
good.
can't have it anymore because now it's all visual. We
And
see it.
people are filming it on their
Yeah, yeah.
phones and cameras.
They just haven't made a grand entrance yet. But
Mm,
we see them coming and going and here and there, and like I say, they just hadn't made a grand entrance yet.
I know, right?
Um, but my
Mm.
thing is this: I believe that's the least of our
It
worries.
is. What you
Yeah,
got to worry about right now is down here with Russia and China. I'm telling you,
yeah,
because I kept telling everybody about that dream I had, and it looked like every aspect of that dream I had is coming true, which is something I definitely and dearly did not want to be foretold,
yeah,
because it was really a premonition. Like, it wasn't like a dream; it was really like a premonition. And it scared me so bad that that day, it was on a Friday night, and that Saturday morning I got up and I had a broadcast, and I told everybody what I what I had seen in my premonition, and it's
okay,
recorded. It's on Facebook somewhere.
okay,
I just don't remember what year, what day, what month, but it's on there. And so now I'm seeing fragments of it start to be put together, and it's really scary, and I'm really scary about that, because I do believe that that is one reason why China has, number one, like I said, China is a very patient country.
yeah,
Their main goal has always wanted to be the number one strongest power
yes,
in the world.
yes,
They've been planning that for many years,
right.
and they don't divert from their goal plan.
No, they don't.
Whoever die, the next person that come in take up office,
Right.
pick right up where the other one left off, and keep on with the same
Yeah.
game plan. They never
Right. Yeah.
divert.
Right. Yeah. And here's the thing about that. You spoke about education a little while back. Their children go year round. They don't have
Yep, they
summer and all
smart,
that. Yeah, they go
smart,
year. It's mandatory that they go year round. So
and it
you're absolutely right. And they start training them almost as soon as when they hit kindergarten. I've seen the training that they're doing.
yep,
Um, so are they
they
prepared? Yeah, they're
discipline.
well prepared.
Yep. Now, news flash, and then we're gonna close on this.
Okay.
For the last 30 days, there's been a higher number of Asians, illegal Asians coming across the border.
Yes.
That's the third fragment
Yes.
of my premonition. Why are they coming all of a sudden? See what I'm saying?
Yes.
Why are they coming? They can't. They're trying to say they're coming to seek asylum. Asylum from what? Your country is in control. Your country got all the money.
Right.
So what I think they're doing now is they're infiltrating these people to come into the country. These are going to be their generals, their officers, their army, and they are
Yeah.
positioning them. They are creating sales
Yeah.
right here, sending them across the border with the open policy that the Biden administration has, because they didn't send Asians over here when President Trump
Right.
was under presidency. You didn't hear no Asians coming across the border.
Right. Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. I believe there's sleeper cells that are already here.
They
Uh.
are sleeper cells that are already here.
Yeah.
Those are the ones that are being educated.
Right.
Those are going to be the ones running the administrations and the
Right.
offices and everything. They have bought farmland, over 350 something acres worth of 350 something million acres worth of land in the United States, in different states,
Hmm.
for farmland under agricultural laws.
Yeah.
And the big purpose, their fake purpose for buying it was to grow the rice for us,
Yeah.
in partnership with the farmers.
Yeah.
That
Guess
was
who,
not. It was undercover plan. You see what I'm
right?
saying?
But guess who else is buying up all the farmland? Bill Gates.
Who?
Gates. Bill Gates.
Well, what they need to do now, now somebody must have listened to my show up there in White House, because now they want to stop them from buying land over here in the United States, but it's too late.
Too late.
Not
Yeah.
what they got to do now, but it's never too late. So what they got to do now is they got to find a way to go in and revoke that land, and they're gonna have to claim eminent domain on it. That's the
Yeah.
only legal way that they can revoke and get that land back that China has bought. They have to claim eminent domain, which the federal government has the right to do to anybody's property,
Yeah.
yours, mine, anybody. So they can definitely do it for the property that the Chinese has bought. And
Well.
I hope that they will do that. But they sleep up there on that hill, and they need to wake
Yeah.
up, because
Well.
China is supposed to take over the United States.
Yeah. Yeah. You're right. And the thing about that is that whew, that's a scary thought.
It's scary.
Um, but what you just said, that in itself would be fighting words. So if we weren't going to war, that
That
would be
would make them
something
go to
that would
war.
go over.
Well, if they're gonna get us anyway, might as well go down fighting. That's what I say.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. It's those
because
that
right now we're not fighting back in any kind of way.
we're not no capacity.
Nothing at all
Nah.
going on.
Sleepy Joe don't know what's going on, and they run in
And
circles.
so they run rampant.
Yeah, they run in circles around it.
But as soon as you go, show, I think a little backbone need to be shown, and an immediate backbone could be shown simply by claiming eminent domain on those properties and give them their money back. That's all
Yeah.
you got to do.
We
Send them their money back. Claim eminent domain. Send them their money back.
I don't think this dude is a warrior. So I really don't see it happening. Not under his watch.
Well, that's something that Congress can do itself. They don't need the president for that. They don't need
Yeah.
the president for that.
Then why are they dragging their feet?
Well, because they just not realizing that they had 350 million acres of land over here. That's why they sit up there on that hill and didn't even know that. That's why I say somebody must have watched my show, because it just came out. Like it was a big surprise to them.
Yeah.
And this is something that I knew for the past 6 months, if
Yeah.
not maybe a year.
Yeah.
So it's
Wow.
crazy, man. But we gotta go. Your
All right.
closing remarks, Tim.
Man, love this show. A lot of information. Glad you guys stopped by. Can't wait to do it again. With that, I wish everybody love, peace, and happiness. And let's be safe out there.
Yeah, me too. Same thing here. And as I tell you guys all the time, look, free thought is a philosophy and not a policy. Thank you all for being with us, and we're going to see y'all next time. Thanks for watching. Good night.
Bye.